Well. It's Q&A with Dr. A, the inaugural edition. First time we've ever done this. Welcome to the show. Brought to you by, of course, FanDuel, my favorite place in the whole world. Some people like to go to Disney World. I like to go to FanDuel. I haven't set a lineup yet for today, so I'm a little off to a late start. But I think you're better off setting a FanDuel lineup later than earlier. Anyway, Q&A with Dr. A. We got a bunch of questions that people have sent in throughout the last couple days. May get to some more live ones later, but let's just go ahead and dive in. Roto Roller wants to know who's more likely to be a late season fantasy hero. Trey Johnson of the Wizards or Walter Clayton of the Jazz. I'm going to go Walt Clayton just because I like him a lot. I think they're both going to probably be silly season heroes. I don't know that you can go wrong. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go Walter Clayton, especially with this news that Walker Kessler is out for the year. I think that opens up more playing time for everybody in Utah. So I'm going to go Clayton. Kevin, F8. I don't. Kind v fate. I don't know. Would you add TJ McConnell right now? He plays for the Pacers. I was kind of fired up about TJ McConnell this season without Tyrese Halliburton around, but my Indiana friends kind of talked me out of it, and they're like, "No, I don't think McConnell's really in the plan so much." But I mean, Indy is so banged up all the way across the board. I think it makes sense to stash McConnell if you can do it. I wouldn't call him a must-add player, but we've seen what he does when he gets minutes. He's a very good player. So if you can add him, I think you should. Fantasy Guru says rank rest of the season. 8Cat, Colin Gillespie, Josh Minot, Jake LaRavia, Derek Queen, Kyle Filipowski. Filipowski just got a huge boost today. LaRavia is near the top of that list for me, and so is Colin Gillespie. So I'm gonna go Filipowski, LaRavia, Gillespie, Minot, DQ. Dime Dropper says TJ McConnell, Trey Johnson, or Colin Gillespie. Which two are must-adds in deep 14-team league right now? I'm surprised Colin Gillespie's sitting there, honestly. I think I'd go Gillespie and Trey Johnson right now. Rookie Hunter, do you like Ryan Dunn for the rest of the season? I kind of do. I don't think I like him quite as much as Brewski does, but I like Ryan Dunn. I think he should play a big role for the Suns. I mean, there's no reason he wouldn't. His peripheral stats have been really good. Hopefully he starts scoring and doing a little more PRA soon. Jazz 1032, Isaiah Stewart, Isaiah Jackson. We're streaming that slot for the rest of the season in a 9-cat league. That's a great question. Both of them are coming off of big games. I like the fact that Isaiah Stewart has a block in every game this year and has 2 blocks in 5 out of 7. I don't trust Isaiah Jackson. I don't trust Beef Stew either, but I do trust that Beef Stew is going to get me a block or 2 every single night. So I'm going to Isaiah Stewart, or you can stream it if you have cool options on your waiver wire every night. Excuse me, Ryan Dunn fan. Outside of Flag and VJ, who's your favorite rookie value for 25-26? I guess I should have prepped this question and done some research. Knipple and Kalkbrenner are both really good. I'm gonna say one of those dudes, but you're right. Cooper Flag and VJ. One of them's gonna win the award. It's probably gonna be Cooper Flag, even though he's off to a slow start. Michik Magic. Danilo Micic. I haven't heard that name in a minute. Is this Jarris Walker breakout season? Yes, it is. Or once the team is healthy, will he be back on the waiver wire? I don't know that the team is ever going to be healthy. They might as well play for a draft pick after this horrible start to the season and all the injuries. I mean, if I am running the Pacers, I'm letting Jarris Walker play all the minutes he can handle all year long. So hopefully it is. Hopefully we're good. But, stranger things have happened. The only thing that scares me about that is Rick Carlisle is not the kind of guy that wants to play for a draft pick. Like, he wants to win every time they go out and play. So that's the only downside there. But I do think it's Jarris Walker's season. Alley 23, what is the best concert that I have ever attended? I've attended probably 500 shows. I've seen some Magic shows. I've had some backstage green room situations that were unbelievable. You know what? I think the greatest, the most relevant concert I've ever been to is I saw the Beastie Boys in 1980. 86, 87, in the Louisville Gardens. And Fishbone opened up for them, and that was when they had the 7-foot hydraulic male anatomy come up out of the stage. There's girls dancing in cages. Everybody's drinking. They're all drinking Budweisers and just going nuts. They got banned from returning to Louisville after that show. That whole tour only lasted 7 shows, and it got shut down because it was so ridiculous and out of control. And me and my friend Woody were right there, like on the floor, right up front, at the start of the Beastie Boys. That was probably my favorite ever. How confident are you in Aaron Gordon's rest of season value? Not very. He's carved out a role. He's ruining Cam Johnson. He is who he is. The ceiling is not very high. That 50-point deal he had to start the season was ridiculous. That was the ultimate sell high moment. Mac J, my league has high stream limits. Is Colin Gillespie a quality point streamer for the next 2 weeks? Yeah, he's quality. If Filipowski's out there, I'd get him instead. I do like Gillespie, though, quite a bit. Jay Walker season. Who has a better short-term fantasy outlook, Cedric Coward or NAW, Nikhil Alexander Walker? I'm going NAW, man. He still hasn't blown up, but Trey's gone for a month. And NAW is going to be the guy. So it's coming. Wizards fan. Should I drop Wendell Carter Jr. for an upside rookie like Kalkbrenner in a 10-team 9-cat league? Yes, do that. I'm kind of into Kalkbrenner right now, if you haven't noticed. He's fun. He's cheap. Plays for a terrible team. Aussie 109, what's the realistic rest of season ceiling for Alex Sarr? I mean, he could be a 18-point, 10.5 board, 1.5 block, 1.5 3 guy. I haven't looked at his numbers lately, so I don't even know what he's currently doing. He's probably doing something close to that already. I love Alex Sarr. Sarr's season. And if you drafted Alex Sarr instead of Walker Kessler, you dodged a bullet. Dame Dollar, between Cason Wallace and Brandon Pajemski, which player should I prioritize as a long-term stash in Dynasty? I'm going to go Pajemski. I just think that long-term Pajemski is eventually going to be a really good fantasy player. And as long as Cason Wallace is in OKC, he's buried. It all depends on if anybody's traded, if Steve Kerr stops stifling Pajemski. We don't know. But I'm going to go Pajemski for now. This is really good for my voice, I've noticed. This is fun. Sleeper cell. Which player is primed for the biggest post All-Star break surge this season? Wow. A list of players there would have been nice. Guys that come to mind are Adem Bona, Walter Clayton, Trey Johnson, Zach Resache, I think should be in that discussion. Who else? Hell, anybody in New Orleans could blow up. Alvarado could end up being a big thing. Ace Bailey, I would like to see that happen. There's some names. Magic Up says Kelly Oubre or Bilal Coulibaly rest of season. Man, Coulibaly is off to an incredible start. Did not see that coming. I'm going to go Kelly Oubre just because he's been so good to me. You've been so good to me. But Coulibaly looks awesome. Like that's a tough call, actually. Flip a coin. I'm going Oubre. Brewski might be going Coulibaly. Whichever guy you've got the best feeling about yourself, that's who I would go and get. Hey, for those of you joining late, this is Q&A with Dr. A. It's brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. I'm just cranking through questions, rapid fire style, and we'll do this as long as I'm able to talk. Fantasy King says, who's your number one sell high candidate whose production is likely to regress significantly? Aaron Gordon is going to have a tough time living up to that first game. Like, that was ridiculous. Anybody else I can think of? I mean, there's probably better sell high candidates than Aaron Gordon, but he's certainly on that list. Mike says, I need assist. Which top 100 player would you aggressively be buying low on right now due to a slow start? I didn't have time to sit down and plan out these questions. And when you ask open-ended questions like that, and I have 360 players to choose from, it's very difficult for me to do that. And this is a me problem, not a you problem. I need assists. Which top 100 player would you aggressively be buying low on right now? Dyson Daniels. Get in before it's too late. Davion Mitchell, I think, is a great assist source that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Let's go with those guys for now. And then maybe some of the injured kid Pippen in Memphis. I think he, if and when he comes back, could be fun. Max 271. Where would you rank Tyrese Maxey for the rest of the season, dude? I mean, I think he ranks where he ranks, wherever he is right now. Like, that's where I rank him for the rest of the season. But it all depends on if Philly tanks and Joel Embiid gets hurt and everybody gets shut down. Then we're going to see Maxey shut down again, just like he was last year. So I'm very cautious with Tyrese Maxey. I'm probably trying to move Maxey after his next monster game, which is probably coming tonight against Cleveland. Yeah, he just makes me nervous. I've been nervous about him. I didn't draft him anywhere. The shutdown possibility looms, and it just makes me uncomfortable. ASNW2, how concerned should we be with Walker Kessler right now? Well, news broke while Brew and I were doing our last show 45 minutes ago that Walker Kessler is done, out for the year. Pick up Filipowski, pick up Nurk. It sucks. Very, very sad. NBA old head. What do I do with Zion Williamson? Dude, you're NBA old head. You should have been seasoned enough to know that Zion was going to do this to you. That's tough, man. I don't know. I didn't even consider drafting Zion Williamson. You like I said, I put all the players that I want, all of my guys, I put into my queue. I never even saw Zion Williamson's name one time this year. New Orleans is a sinking ship. Zion is wearing the Pirates hat and holding the steering wheel, and he's going to go down with this ship. I don't know, man. You let him come back, you let him have a good game or two, and you get whatever you can get for him, which is not going to be much. Frank for 3. I'm off to a great start this season. What injured star should I be trying to acquire now in preps for a late season run? DeJounte Murray is the correct answer there. Chaos NBA, what should we expect from Vassell and Castle once the Spurs are fully healthy? Is there any hope for Sohan? I don't think there's any hope for Sohan. Stephon Castle, I think, has locked himself into a role, even when De'Aaron Fox is healthy and back. And Vassell's just a good player. Like, both of their numbers are going to go down when Fox comes back, but they're both still going to be worth having on your roster. I worry about Vassell's injuries. I'm kind of fired up about Stephon Castle this year. He's been fabulous. Zion Wait wants to know which player's given me the most throwback old school vibes with their game this season. Is it DeMar DeRozan's midi? Yeah, I don't know. Josh Giddey feels like an old school player to me. I love Josh Giddey so much. Mistake Maker also wants to know my all-time favorite concert I've attended. I talked about the Beastie Boys. I saw REM at Purdue University with 10,000 Maniacs in 87. On the document tour, that was legendary and historic for me. I'll just go with that one for now. I've seen a ton. I need to think about this whole concert thing. Fantasy Bribe, which one of my guys from the preseason draft guide has been the biggest fantasy disappointment so far? Which one is making you proud? Oh man, am I gonna have to bust out the my guys? Well, Josh Giddey's making me proud. Who was a my guy? Oh, maybe Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels got off to a really disappointing start, and I'm just kind of all in on him, but he's turned it around, right? Like he's coming on. You know what? We'll do that next time. I'll take a look at my guys list and answer that question next Wednesday when we do this same show. Andre, write that down. I need to pick out my biggest success and bust from my guys. St. Jeets, how much fab would you drop on Jarris Walker and Herbert Jones? Herbert Jones, I'm scared of, man. That New Orleans ship be sinking. Jarris Walker, percentages are really bad. He's inconsistent. He's not efficient. But the counting numbers are going to be there. I would not blow the bank on Jarris Walker and fab. Herb Jones, back to him real quick. If you need the steals in the D, he's worth it, but such bad vibes in New Orleans, man. I would spend my money on Jarris Walker. How much? If it's $100 fab, I don't know. $11-12 sounds about right to me. Huge chins is Jake LaRavia a must add now? I think he is. Probably going to chill once LeBron, the other day, Tim and I were doing a show, and Tim said, well, when LeBron comes back, and I was like, bro, I feel like it's more like if LeBron is back. Brewski thinks he's on track. He's going to be there. I think LeBron's going to play again this year, but the vibe in LA is off. But even with Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron all healthy, I think LaRavia has become the fourth spoke in that wheel, along with DeAndre Ayton. So I think he's a solid ad. I don't know if I'm going to call LaRavia a must add, but he's a very solid ad. Frank the Tank ranked the rest of the season. Gillespie, Minot, LaRavia, Derek Queen, Filipowski. Did we do that earlier? I'm going to go Filipowski, Gillespie, LaRavia, Minot, and Queen. I think I did do that earlier. Jelly Candy, who is more likely to be a late season fantasy hero? Yes, those are the first two questions that we kicked it off with on this show. I got through all of those. Let's get to some live, more recent questions. Oh, here we go. Man, I probably need to go get some glasses. It's really tiny. Let's see what happens here. Amold Vanlin? Hey, Dr. A, what do we do with Trendon Watford? Feel like he's about to get more playing time. I don't know, man. Watford is intriguing. He's never really been the silly season hero we'd hoped for. I don't know if he's going to get more playing time soon. He will later. I think March and April, Watford's probably going to be a hot pickup. I just don't think you're going to want him before then. Daniel is asking, Yo Doc, would you drop someone with more short-term value like LaRavia or Trey Jones to add Derek Queen for the long haul? 12 teams, keeper league. Man, I've just got a LaRavia vibe, man. I don't know what it is. I think I'd rather have LaRavia for the long haul. Let's see here. Is it something IMD? 9CAT Dynasty League. I'm being offered Isaiah Collier for Zach Risachet. Tempted to go for it. Thoughts? I think I'd go Risachet there. Keontae George has overtaken everything in the backcourt in Utah, and it's going to make it tough for Collier to have a ton of success. And I feel like Risachet is kind of coming on. That's a great question. I don't know that there's a clear answer. I'm feeling Risachet, but three other people you talk to might say Collier. I don't know that you can go wrong either way. I'm going to say Risachet. Would you drop Santi Aldama for Kyle Filipowski? Yes. Stop what you're doing. Stop watching this, Frank. Go get Filipowski. Absolutely. Filipowski or Con Knipple. I'm going Filipowski. That is from Arnold, I think. I'm old. And this is I'm old again. I'm old. Is that it? I can't. Do you think that Bain will sort it out in a big way? Would you go after him as buy low? Who has more upside, Bain or Derek White? I like Derek White way more than I like Bain. I think Bain is an excellent buy low right now. I'm not convinced he's ever going to go off in a big way in Orlando playing with Banchero and Franz Wagner. Daniel again. Given Kessler's season ender, Taylor Hendricks and Kyle Filipowski both must adds in 12-team cat leagues. Keeper leagues. I would say yes. The emphasis should be on Filipowski, but I think Taylor Hendricks in a keeper league is also worth a shot for sure. But Kyle Filipowski, man, just stop what you're doing and go at him. I don't care what your league is. My something nuts. Whose value is highest right now? Filipowski or Nurk. I think right now it's Nurk, but I think a month from now it's going to be Filipowski. That's why I would go after Filipowski. Move this closer to me. I could probably read it. Arnold again. What are your thoughts on Brandon Miller? I'm thinking of trading him as I don't have a good feeling with him and his team and injury management overall. Yeah, I mean, what can you get from Brandon Miller at this point? Can you even trade him? Do you drop him? And Soren was in my office the other day, and he's like, Dad, you told me to draft Brandon Miller. I'm like, I know. He goes, you also told me to draft Trey Young. And I was like, I know. And he's like, why'd you do that to me? I said, I didn't know. I didn't know they were going to get hurt. Very sad. Yeah, I mean, if you can trade Brandon Miller, absolutely do it. If you can't get anything for him, you may end up dropping him, which I don't love that. I'm not advocating to drop Brandon Miller, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Don Sicarfo, something like that. Warehart or Filipowski, all of them are there on their way to waivers. Which to prioritize? So I love Khalil Ware. I do not love Josh Hart at all. And I love Filipowski. I think I would go all in on Filipowski 1, Ware 2, and then Hart if you want to. Khalil Ware is being jerked around really bad by Eric Spoelstra. It's bugging me. So I'd go Filipowski. Jay Tan says, hi, Doc. Thoughts on Reed Shepard? Should I hold or drop? Andre's concerned about Reed Shepard. I'm concerned about Reed Shepard. It's not working out for him in Houston the way we thought it was going to. We know he can play. He's just not getting much of an opportunity. I hold him for another week unless you need to drop him to go get Filipowski or something. You don't have to hold Reed Shepard, but if you can, give him a little more time. But at some point, we're going to have to make a move, right? Beastly 10, maybe. Hey, Dr. A, fan from the RotoWire days. Hopefully you mean Roto World days. I've been with both, but RotoWire was recent and Roto World was a long time ago. McCain or Garland, 12 team head to head, 9-cat. I assume we're talking about Darius Garland here. I mean, it's Darius Garland, unless there's some other Garland that I'm not thinking of. Thanks for the shout out, sir. Darius Garland is the answer there. Chris Williams, I can read that one. I did it. 12 team, a 9-cat. I just picked up Nemish Queta last night. I'm in a guard build. It's punting, field goal percentage, and soft punt on points and turnovers. Is it worth dropping Queta for Filipowski or Nurkic? Yes, I do like Queta. But if you're in a guard build, I think Filipowski probably works better for you than Queta. I would get Filipowski. Matt Carmody, would you rather have Nurk or Eason in a 9-cat head-to-head? Ooh, I'm not an Eason guy. I was late to that party this year. He's been pretty decent. But I mean, how does Nurk not succeed with no Walker Kessler, at least for a few months? I think I'd go Nurk. Is Jaime Jaquez still high before Hero and Powell settle in as the main offensive weapons in Miami? And do you think that Bane would be possible to get? Ooh. If you can trade Jaime Jaquez for Desmond Bane, you do it. I am very high on Jaime Jaquez. I love Jaime Jaquez, but you're right. When Tyler Herro is back and once Norm Powell is settled, uh, Jaime Jaquez is probably going to get squeezed a little bit. So I would say yes, Jaime Jaquez is a sell high, and if you can trade him for Bain, that would be a move for the ages, I think. Daniel says, would you drop Collier and or Laravia to add Nurk and or Filipowski? I would drop Collier and pick up Filipowski. I'm kind of hanging on to Laravia, man. I might be wrong. He probably is a sell high, but I can't do it right now anyway. Milan says, hey, Dr. A, please start bench cut. Davion Mitchell, Trey Jones, Cole Anthony. I'm starting Davion Mitchell. I'm benching Trey Jones. I'm dropping Cole Anthony. That was tough. That was hard. Manila's most wanted. Yo, Doc, do you think Kelly Oubre can sustain this production the rest of the season? As long as he stays healthy and as long as his teammates are banged up, he should be awesome. I'm going down with Oubre. Like, I'm riding him until he breaks. Adrian says, you think Ace Bailey will get more playing time with Kessler down? He should, but I don't think Kessler going down is going to affect Ace Bailey that much. It's either they're going to start playing Ace Bailey big minutes or they're not. And he was playing well with Walker Kessler over the summer. He's got bad knees, and I think they're just being careful with him. What a disappointment Ace Bailey has been so far. I mean, this can't last all season, right? It can't. I hope he gets more playing time. I mean, he's in the drop zone for sure. You gotta think about dropping Ace Bailey if you want to stay competitive in your league. Probably, I'm not telling you to drop him, but it's at least on the table. Clark Kent dealing with several injuries. Any updates with Jalen Green? I think Jalen Green's close. Like, they play tonight. Does Phoenix play tonight? I mean, he's close. I don't know if he's coming back tomorrow or what, but I mean, I feel like it's any day now for Jalen Green. I don't have him anywhere, so I haven't been like all dialed in on the Jalen Green injury front, but from the talks we've had in production and stuff, I feel like Jalen Green is due back. Andre, do you know when Jalen Green is supposed to play again? We'll see. We'll see what he says. Thoughts on Jalen Williams and Zion when they be back 2 weeks? ? I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with Jalen Williams. I didn't expect him to be out this long, and it sucks. Zion, I'm surprised it took him this long to go down. I think he'll go down again after he comes back because that's what he does. I would like to think that Jalen will be back in 2 weeks. Zion, he should be. Yeah, Jalen Green's traveling with the team, should be back the next game. So if he doesn't play in the next one, I think he'll play in the game after that. But I have a feeling he's playing tomorrow, I'm guessing, is when they play. Chris Williams again. Thanks, Dr. I waited a few minutes too long and he got signed off. He got sniped on Filipowski, but I'll wait for the stress drop. I appreciate you and your efforts, sir. You're welcome, Chris. Thanks for tuning in. Andre, is that going to do it? Oh, we got a couple more. Clark Kent, between Khan, Knipple, Isaiah Fears, Cedric Coward, Torrey Eason, Aaron Neesmith, who would you drop to open a stream slot? Or do I hold all of them for now? I think you can probably drop Cedric Coward. That is what I would do. I would drop Coward and stream that spot. I like Coward. I'm intrigued by him, but he's not a must-own player at this point. All right, guys. As usual, this has been brought to you by FanDuel. This is a SportsEthos.com presentation. Please go to SportsEthos.com, subscribe, buy a subscription, like the YouTube channels, do everything you can to help us out so we can keep doing this. I love doing this. Best job I've ever had. Go to FanDuel, play some FanDuel, set a lineup, send me an invite. Let's hook up. Let's play for $1. All right, I will see you guys. I'll be here tomorrow. Brewski and I are on Thursday at 3:30 Eastern, which is 12:30 Pacific, I believe. A little later than usual. Then I'm gone on Friday. I'll be back with y'all on Monday, and we'll do this again next Tuesday, right after the live show. It'll be Q&A with Dr. A. Maybe I'll prep a little more next time. Don't send me those open-ended questions. And as usual, this was presented by our friends at FanDuel. Have a good day.